You know how the SNES has the quirky RPG known as Earthbound? Well, what did its rival, the Sega Genesis, have? It has Toejam and Earl. Now, to follow up on my whole Earthbound trip, I kinda wanted to go back and play some games that have like some, you know, Americana quirkiness to them. So why not look back at the game that came out before Earthbound, and it came out for the Sega Genesis, and that's Toejam and Toejam and Earl. The game came out back in 1991, and it was one of the first games to actually have co-op on the Genesis, which was a big deal at the time, but a lot of people would say that this game hasn't aged well. And considering some of the lingo that they're using, let's just say it sits at home with Sonic. But hey, they were both on the same radical Genesis console. Blast processing! Now when it comes to talking about, you know, the game actually itself, I can actually wrap it up in like less than 15 seconds, okay? Give me a timer. Toejam and Earl are two funky aliens that land on Earth, and they need to collect their spaceship parts so they can go back into space and avoid all the Earthlings and their unfunkiness, and this game sucks because there's no direct way of actually attacking people. Alright, cut that up, send it to the publishing house, and then after that we got a movie. Shit, I'm taking my break and I'm going off to Hawaii. Have a good night. But on some real shit, like within the first 5 minutes of playing the game, I want to turn it off because all you do is just go around and collecting stuff. And that works great for like platformers, especially the 3D variety. But when you're walking on a flat plane like this and just going up to different levels, like what's the point? Like you're just gonna find random stuff that is generally random throughout the level because there's like a randomizer that even randomizes the items that you get. So when you open the box, you have a chance of actually dying. And that's what made me want to turn off the game in the first place. That's some bullshit. But the music is always the saving grace of all the video games that I look at. I take that back. It's not the saving grace for this game. I mean, a lot of people like say that this game has a unique soundtrack that invokes like funk and hip hop, except I don't really hear it. I mean, I'm digging like the funky parts and the elements that remind you of Grandmaster Flash, but the freaking aliens look like something I would see in Earthbound. Okay, they fit right at home with some Earthbound aliens, and that is why I thought of this funky game. Oh, did I say funky? I meant fucking. Hey Rue, you got anything to add?
Go funk yourself for all I care.
Charming. But please excuse my hatred. Like seriously, I don't like taking the piss out on video games that are really old. I feel like Tommy Tellerico from freaking Judgment Day. That's an old G4 reference for anybody that knows. No, I am a happy gamer. I like to find the positive in everything. And I'm talking about everything, even if it doesn't have anything to do with the game. And I'm gonna go for the advertising with this one. Now flash back to the 90s and you turn on the TV after watching a Kool-Aid commercial and this shows up. Observe.
The following contains subtitles for our non-funk speaking audience.
Yo, what up, dog?
A black youth wearing flannel and a backwards baseball cap.
I'm here to drop some knowledge about my boys Toejam and who? Earl.
Clearly this youth speaks mostly in jive ebonics.
The game's be fresh. Bam! All that, boy.
So he's as much as a stereotype as this game is.
Yo, peep out my man DJ as he flex.
I love it when they have long sentences, but then a really, really short subtitle.
And here go Crazy Earl checking out the
Now it just sounds like you're swearing. And I'm fluent in funk. Shut up, meatwad.
hood. In other words, I highly recommend it.
Really? Freaking really? I love it. I love this. He said it just so sophisticatedly.
In other words, I highly recommend it.
Brilliant. It's like this commercial is trying to say that stereotypes are bullshit, and they are. However, this game is totally a fucking stereotype. It's a stereotypical roguelike game that you don't really do too much in. But the character designs and the way they talk and how they interact with other crap, you know, is supposed to be cool if you were probably born in 1980 and you turned 10 around 1991. Now, if I give this cliche game a chance, it'd probably change my mind about its stereotypicalness. If not this game, maybe the sequels will. Yes, including the third one for Xbox. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait until the funded new game comes out, and that's Toejam and Earl Back in the Groove. And maybe they'll get their groove right with the latest one they're gonna make. And I advise you guys to be waiting on that game too.
In other words, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I